இது 9 minutes வெயிட் பண்றாங்க. ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றேன். I'm just waiting for you to start and record. That's 16 people have joined. Yeah, sir. Anyone already tried and got some error, or everyone just want a repeat of the previous session? If you can guide me, I can proceed like further. Sir, please, everyone, there are 18 people here. Please speak out so that I can take the session forward. Or at least come in the chat box. So yeah, Biju is asking me to demonstrate this two programs.
Yeah, that would be better, sir. That would be better.
Yes, sir. Padmanabhan sir, yesterday you didn't connect with me. At least today we will resolve.
Yeah, I resolved that. That is why I could not connect it. I will not. I did not.
Yes.
Immediately after the session, I resolved that.
Okay, got it, sir. Welcome, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, now, no other day, I don't have time really to speak about much about pandas. Sir, in Python, pandas is a library. So to all chartered accountants in this group who are new to Python and pandas, you will be slightly puzzled by the word called libraries. So libraries are additional modules to the core programming language to enhance the functionality. For example, if you, I'll also go to ChatGPT. So I can ask ChatGPT what are the famous Python libraries. It'll reply me with the list of libraries. For example, Excel, we have data inside the sheets, but transforming the data, we rely upon various headers in the ribbon. For example, I'll also open the Excel. Yes, I got my Excel back. So let's assume you have sheets full of data. Sometimes you go and use some options in this home tab, sometimes insert to use pivot, sometimes page layout to give printout and headers, formulas to apply a formula, data to do various functions like importing, sorting, like that. So let's assume each one head is a different menu here, or we call it as ribbons. However, in Python, it is called as libraries. So libraries will do any specified work which was intended when it was built. For example, Python can do a machine learning process. Python can do a image processing. Python can do reading from an image, converting into a text. Python can do reading a PDF file, to convert back into Excel. You can do variety of things, not only specific things it can perform. So for doing variety of things, we require libraries in Python. For example, I'm just going to ChatGPT because many are not aware of what is a library is. So I'm going to say, give me a list of popular libraries in Python. So it says data manipulation and analysis. You need a NumPy, or you need pandas, matplotlib, or Seaborn, or plotting. So all of this 4 or 5 libraries will help you in data manipulation and analysis. Machine learning, you can use this Skit, TensorFlow, PyTorch, or Keras, like that. So every area of operation, this library changes. For example, for web development, you can use Flask or Django. Django is a framework or a library where 80% of the websites in Python built on Django. Flask is holding another 20 to 30% market share. So if you want to develop a website or develop a web application, you need to use either one of these libraries. Likewise, data visualization, you have 3. Interaction, that is, extraction of any data from a database, you can use this 3. Image processing, game development, it goes on like that. You can use a lot more libraries. Maybe there is a library called a request. Okay, this will help you to do a HTTP request, or you are doing a API call across application. So you can take hundreds of libraries doing a process. So one such library is called pandas. So pandas helps in data manipulation and analysis. In other words, pandas can do whatever Excel can do. And also a bit more, what Excel cannot do, pandas can do. So for chartered accountants, so initial starters like us who learn Python at the very early stage now, we can use pandas to exactly replicate what Excel will do. Now you have questions. So then why pandas? Why can't I go with just Excel and continue? Sir, how many of you had a problem like having a large set of data and you cannot be able to do a sorting in Excel? For example, if you have more than 1 lakh rows, the Excel will not really work according to the according to the normal time, it will not take, it will take a longer time, and sometimes the Excel will really, crash and get closed. How many of you have, had this trouble? Anyone, sir?
Yeah, of course.
Yes. So in these kind of places, and also, for example, you are doing some analysis in Excel. End of the Excel, you want to send an email. Can Excel file itself can send an email, sir?
Excel file cannot.
Sir, anyone requires an after analysis, an email has to be made.
Yeah.
Am I right or not, sir? Excuse me. There, all of you are there with me. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So after a set of data manipulation or data analysis process is done, you need to email the file. You need to save the file somewhere. You need to do further operations on the file. So all of this can be automated using Python. Suppose you want to go and check an email, you can use Pandas Python. So not only the data manipulation process, the process before the data manipulation and the process after the data manipulation, which Excel cannot do in the normal course of time, can be done through this Python. And also, it is not that only we have to use Pandas library in this current process. We can use any number of libraries in the same application and take it forward. So it is not only restricted to do Pandas. You do some analysis in Pandas, only Pandas to come. Nothing like that, sir. From Pandas, you can switch to another library. Emailing process can be taken by another library. So like that, you can go and jump into multiple libraries, take the process and do. But very important point with respect to Excel and Pandas is the speed at which the Python Pandas can perform. For example, in Excel, if you are going to do any automated task or a manual task, let's take it takes 1 hour to do a manual task of consolidating multiple Excel files together. In this case, even in an automated environment, Excel, let's assume, takes 15 minutes. The whole process can be achieved in Pandas in less than few milliseconds. So this is the speed of Python Pandas in terms of completing a particular task or a work. So this is how this Python Pandas works, and Pandas is a library. So if you want more clarity on this, I'm ready to take questions now, sir, before I move on with starting exploring, doing some analysis with the data. Sir, any questions? Karthik, sir. Good afternoon. So there is no questions here.
So in that case, why are we comparing Excel and Python? Python is a different what you call. It's a more powerful and it will do more than what Excel can do. So why we compare Excel and Python?
Sir, very good question, sir. Sir, now why Python comes? For example, you need to do a small analysis with the data running into few thousands of lines. 4,000 lines of data, you need to do an analysis. Then you can choose Python. Sorry, you can choose Excel rather achieving it through Python. Yeah. Only when there is a volume, you get a better arbitrage out of Python.
Okay.
So doing small volumes of data, certainly Python will not be ideal tool, sir. But if it is a repetitive in nature, you want to go and check to an external application, you want to check to an email inbox. In that case, you come to Python and do a data analysis out of it.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, how many of you is there? I know many, all of them were senior chartered accountants here. Anyone worked with Fox Pro, sir?
Long back.
long back, where you code you have the data structure on before your screen and a small window like a chat box where you write, pass on the appropriate functions. And the Foxflow does this exactly similar way. Exactly similar way. But only one advantage is it will not take the same time as Excel is taking. So repeated work, enormous amount of data. Sir, Excel, if you see Excel, you have total of 10,48,000 line items of records, sir.
Yeah.
But if you save more than 1 lakh data, you save it and close it, then you reopen this file, the file will not get opened.
Correct.
So this is the biggest trouble with Excel. So any number of rows to the extent of say 50,000 rows with 5-10 columns, it will work better. More than that, Excel has a trouble. So in this case, this pandas will help you, sir, in terms of achieving this. And likewise, you want to go and do analysis of all these records on a daily basis. For example, sir, in case of bank audits, where we used to download the scroll file on a daily basis, filter the data in terms of more than 2 lakh transfers, more than 5 lakh RTGS and NIFT. If in internal audits, am I right, sir? We have some categories on reporting on a daily basis. Anyone having such a requirement, sir? No one. All right. So in this concurrent audit with bank branches, we are bound to report on the transactions on a daily basis or a weekly basis to the management on the day-to-day activities or playbook of the bank. In that cases, this pandas will really help you in terms of filtering the transactions and also creating an appropriate report out of it. So any other questions, sir, on this interaction before I do a live case? No questions. Shall I? Yeah. So now you can start with opening Anaconda Navigator, which will be round in color. And after opening this, I clicked on Jupyter Notebook. It came with a black color screen and a browser window like this. So Anaconda is a free SDK or software development kit combining of multiple products. One such product is Jupyter Notebook. So is there anyone who could not able to get this screen? Let me know. Then you must be having problems in installing. Sir, I understand all the 20 participants could be able to get the screen. Shall I proceed forward? Yes, there is no response. So I believe nobody have got any trouble.
Sir, just a minute, sir. Anaconda is loading. Just a minute.
Prasanna Kumar, sir?
That program is getting just.
Sir, yes, sir. It takes some time, sir. Initially, it takes like 2-3 minutes. I've also kept loaded even before the start of the session. So it takes some time, sir, depending upon the system configuration. See, I clicked on it, still loading for me, showing me a black screen, but I've already loaded and kept it ready. Okay, it takes some time, sir. So here you have to click on new and click on Python 3 notebook. Python 3 notebook. So the moment you click on this, you will get a window. you'll get a window like this, where you can actually write the script. In my case also it's still loading, sir. Yes, sir, I got a notebook file. The file name is untitled 12. I can edit here anytime. I can say demo for the faculty development program, and I'll rename. So it is a small notepad or small script file, sir, named as demo for faculty development program. Where it is saved? It is saved. You have to go to your C users, your root directory. My root directory is admin. Here, demo for FDP. Like that, it will save as a small notepad file running into few kilobytes. This is the location of the data generally. Okay, so this is where it is saved. Now, in this place, you can go and run scripts. You can write your scripts and run. Okay, so what you can write, for example, you can write print hello ICA and run. Indalia. Okay, 1 minute. Yes, fine. Friend, there is a change in the system now. Shall I proceed? Yeah, can you all hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is audible.
Okay, little bit. It is okay. Okay. Friends, can you speak? Voice okay. Friends, now my voice is clear. Somebody can, if you can respond, please.
Yes, sir. It is audible.
All right, fine. So
Thank you.
here you can write your scripts and press a run button. Results will be coming on the bottom of this particular tab. Any process, you have to write only your scripts here. So the other day I gave a script which is for taking a content from the tally data, because with the TDL, alongside with the TDL, I've done the same. So I'm going to copy the entire script, copy, paste it here. I'll send this file at the end of the session, friends. You can put it in the same place and use it, because whatever the file saved will be listed here. We went here and put a new Python file. Below this, you can find demo for the FTP. Whatever file and folders in this C colon root directory will be actually listed there. It's only basically a folder reader. So if I double click also, it will open. Now I already opened. So this particular 13 lines of script, what it does is the first 3 lines, it is importing the library called a PyODBC. So PyODBC helps in connecting a ODBC data source. So you can change this to anything, sir. You can find another data source. For example, so I'm going for let's assume you're going to let's assume you're going to import a CSV file. I can say in ChatGPT, write a script to import a CSV file to pandas. That's it. So now you can see what's happening. It will pandas itself as a it is first asking to install pandas. Okay, pandas itself as the library has a command called CSV. Sorry, PD pandas.read underscore CSV and give the CSV file path. The data will come inside. So in my case, I have given PyODBC as a library because I'm going to take the ODBC data source. So the top items, import and assuming, fixing the drivers, all of this are connected with library actions. So first 3 lines deals with that. Okay. Now I'm just declaring server is localhost 9000. So Tally works with the local host called 9000. If you change that port to something else, you need to change the number here. Okay. Now connection, that is PyODBC, this particular library has a function called connect, and it takes the name of the driver and including the localhost name and fixes as trusted connection as yes. Now this has been executed at this place with the query as select name from ledger. That is only taking the list of the names. So after taking the list of the names, here the pandas is reading this query and writing it. Then till here, from here, for example, I just put a comment here that the line with the hash will not get counted. So I'm going to say import items were written here. Data is imported in this line. Now this particular data.head is showing the top lines in the data frame or sheet. The data frame is like a sheet. So this is what data.head does. So now you can see what does data to CSV does. It saves as a file name called a file name 1.csv. I'm going to say SARC1 ledger dot or underscore names dot CSV. So the whole query, this particular string, which executes a SQL query code from the tally to pull out the name of the ledger is append. So this particular place is a variable where you need to change this in order to extract further more information from tally. Likewise, you don't require ODBC, you don't require all of these. As ChatGPT pointed out, you can say pd.read underscore CSV and give the CSV file path. the entire data from a CSV file will be imported into Pandas. So you can import a CSV file, you can import a text file, you can import a JSON file, you can import whatever file, a PDF file, you can import an image file, you can import a HTML web page, you can import any kind of data by using the libraries. But here, CSV has been imported by Pandas itself. So Pandas library has a function to do import the CSV file or Excel file. If it does not have, in my case, I'm doing a ODBC data where Pandas did not support. I used a PyODBC library imported. But finally, after importing this query, I've linked into PD Pandas because I imported Pandas as PD. Pandas.read underscore SQL. I run the query. I've added this data frame or a sheet equivalent data to something called data. So now whole data, the whole sheet with this head called data, and data.head will display the top line items. .to underscore CSV will save it in a CSV file. So now let's see, sir. Let's see how this is running, and we will modify this. We will do 3-4 versions out of this, and I'll finally share this sheet with you. Very simple sheet. Okay, and is there any questions on this before I move further? Let me know. I'm ready to take. Yes, Somnath Ravuri has a question. Yes, sir. Any questions, sir? All these are new, I know. Any questions ready? Vijay sir? Madhyanathan sir?
Sir,
Nothing?
so one doubt, sir. Can I achieve the same task like what your TDL does? From this pandas PDA, that select list name of the ledger, comma, like adding some more fields. Can I achieve the same task in the same?
This particular part, sir?
That particular part. Can I add that SQL code?
Yeah. I can say, comma, dollar parent.
Yeah. Okay.
Comma,
so I can keep on listing. Okay.
Winning balance. Let's see whether it works, sir. This is a variable. This particular part you can go and alter. I'm going to run this command. So the star mark represents it's running. And once it gets over, the data is done. You'll get a message called done in the outside this box. So here also in the browser tab also you can see it is showing in a loading symbol. Sorry. The moment it runs, it will ask you a question whether it is 9,000 confirmation. I have to give next and a finish. Done. I forgot to do this. Yeah. There is a warning, but you can, and finally, there is a message called done. I'll rather save it better. Message called data extracted and saved. So if I go to the root folder, see here, sir, there is a new CSV file created, which I can double click and open. Thanks. Yeah. Friends, can you all hear me now? There's a different audio source.
Yes, sir.
Oh, fine. Thank you. Because last 30 minutes was what do you call very difficult time for me because in my audio was echoing to my.
So now it's clear, sir. Clear and loud.
And I had a very difficult time. I got through this particular code. screen is not updated to you, correct? Yes. Okay, see the screen. இல்ல என் mic mute ஆகுதுங்க. Sorry. Okay. Friends, can you all hear me? Loud and clear?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Yeah. So this is the data which I got from that script. Now, because I've altered more information, I got this. So, is there any doubt here, sir? I think your doubts will be with the SQL line I've written. Am I right?
Yes, sir, exactly.
Yeah. So whatever written here, it's coming here. Am I right? Yeah. Now slightly I'll spend some 15 minutes on this queries in this line, sir. Then I will tell you how can we modify this data, sir. Now please remember, we have done a plain vanilla SQL query, copied the information, no data manipulation done. We have done only the copying the data and pasting it to a CSV file and given as an output for all the 600 ledgers in this tally. I've not done any analysis out of it. So how to get this more a similar data from tally like this? Yes, Prasanna Kumar sir, you are right. We have used a calculator panel yesterday to decide this. Now I'm using Python to take that similar information. So I'm going to close this. Don't save. I'll close this. I'll go to the GitHub page. What we are yesterday we were working on this, to take the forensics information from a ledger and voucher data from where it is taken. Yeah, I'm navigating to Tally SQL. This particular resource will help you in terms of giving this input information for this particular Python. But again, my internet is slow here, sir. Give me a moment. Click on a moment. Load blue slow. Pass panna இதுவாமா. Yeah. Pass panna கூட it's not really quick. ஏன் இப்படி இருக்கு? I'll try different browser. Yeah. Yeah. Friends, can you all hear me now? Yeah, mute. Friends, can you all hear me? Yeah, no, it's fine, I guess. Yeah. So this is that query which we took for doing a forensics analysis of when we created this ledgers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this entire content, paste it in another place, and replace the query to the query which I have written. I'm going to say now the file name is not list of ledgers. It is ledger altered report. .cs. So I change this SQL query. I'm going to do a run now. Done. Extracted. So can you get this, sir? What we have done yesterday is available in a report like this. Now, next question you all will put like you can very well take. Say tally ODBC and take the yesterday's data, all the data from the ledger table. And put it to a sheet. Yeah. Now, this particular data import will also have a query in the backend. How to take this query? You can go to table design, go to property, click on this three buttons. In this definition, definition, I have the query here in the command text. So I can copy this. Put it in a notepad for you. I'll put it in the notepad. So this is the query. Nothing, sir. Every table. Yogesh, I'm in another meeting there. Just a bit. Ignore meeting. Every table has a prefix called the table name. So I'm going to do a copy, replace, delete, replace with empty. So I got the queries. This also I'm going to delete. A dot. So this is the query. You don't need this mark also. So I'm going to do Control J.
So before using the query,
So now you got the query which you do for. Yes. The query which we got the data, loaded the data in Excel. Already there inside. Okay, I'll also put this in a notepad and give you, sir. This notepad I'm going to anyway share with you. So I'll give this. So also the other one which I run, because it will be difficult for you to go and take every time. Every query I'm running, I'll put it here. Okay, for your better understanding. So
okay,
this
because
particular data alone is the ledger master data. Yes, sir.
So because the table you are referring to is the table created by using your TDL, right, sir?
TDL, yeah. TDL, yes. So I'm going to copy the query. The table name is SARC ledger detail. I'm going to copy this query, go to this particular part, replace the query. I'm going to run this now. Again, I'm going to say lecture master data. So I got a message, data extracted and saved. The same data which we got imported, we loaded through this pandas. So likewise, I will do one more time for the transactional data, sir. This one is, I'll put a header so that, I'll put a header here. I'm going to say, it as ledger with balance. The second query, the second script which we wrote is ledger with created and altered date. Connected from TDL data source. This is with ledger master data. No, this is TDL source. This is connected from ledger table inbuilt. So I got the entire information you used to get using this particular query. Now I'm going to do for the transaction also, sir. Session record, right? So, session record. Yeah. So now I'm going to do one more time for transactional data. Data, get data, other sources, Microsoft query. Voucher. Entire transaction data is being loaded. Yeah. Now again, I'm going to take the query out of it. So go to table design property, click on this three buttons, go to this definition, copy everything. I'll put it in take an untitled note. Right. Go on, sir, but you'll not understand. That's why I'm removing this. Control V. So this is the query. I'll also put it here. So for your later reference. So this is the query for transactions, which are here. Then again, I'm going to run this now, sir. We'll change it as transaction master data. It'll throw me an error because I've not closed the file. I have to change the file. So throw me an error. File is already open, but I'll try to close it in a hurry now. Don't save. Because it's on the name of the file. Yeah, I can see the file size, change of file size. So extracted and saved. Yeah. So the entire data, the transaction data got loaded, sir. So any kind of information where you have a specified data source, you can able to load it, convert it into Excel this way. Sir, yes, sir. Before I move on to the next segment, I want if you have any doubt, let me know. I'm ready to take it at this moment. There's also some people have opened their mic. Yes, sir. CA Pradeep Jogi. Any questions, sir? No, I think. Any other questions from anyone before I move on to the next part of the discussion? Sir, பேசுறது கேட்க மாட்டேங்குது sir. Somebody else is speaking. கேக்குதா? Okay. Friends, any questions so far?
No, sir, no questions.
Okay, fine. We'll proceed.
Sir, empty lines are
So-
there now in between this query, so they don't have any
Pardon, sir?
empty lines. For example, if you see 19, 22, those
Yeah,
empty
nothing,
lines.
sir. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. No problem. But one problem, sir. I cannot do a indentation like this. I cannot put a space like this and continue. This indented, it is an indented one. It is sensitive to the indentation, but spaces, no problem. That is a empty line. It will simply drop and go execute.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. So, any other questions, sir, before I move on about this, or even about the
Hello, sir.
yeah.
Sir, actually, you written the query
So-
in the this in
Next
right,
part
sir?
of discussion, sir, variety of data. Now we are going to manipulate the data. Yeah, that's syntax inside the script. Yes.
Yes, sir. But again, from Excel, from properties, you again taken query, sir.
Yes,
Why
sir.
it has done actually? I
Not
didn't
here
understand.
Why have you
Your voice is breaking.
written the query there?
Hello.
No, sir. Can you put your questions very clear? Can you please tell me whether my
So your voice is
No, sir, your
will be
voice
able
is
to hear me
breaking.
clearly? Because
no, your voice is breaking, sir. We are unable to hear you.
there's some lag. Some lag. Sir, it is fine now. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's fine.
Yes, yes. Sir, yes, sir. Put me your question, sir. Now I'll go to the echo mode. Yeah. But
Yeah,
it's fine,
sir.
sir. Yes, please put me a question, sir. Now it's fine. It's correct, I guess. Yeah.
Sorry
Sir.
for troubling you, sir. Sir, actually, you have written the query in this already.
Sir, over to you. Please put your question, sir.
Yeah, sir. Actually, in the Jupyter,
Okay, sir.
you already given the query. So this select name, primary group, something. And again
Yes,
in the
yes.
Excel,
I've already
yes,
given, sir.
yeah, from Excel again from properties, you have taken again some query. So why you
now I
did
lost
that?
his
I didn't
voice.
get, sir.
Now I lost his voice. Sir. Galia, number side, sir, I'm having some bandwidth issue now, sir. Please just hold on for a while.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
Bandwidth, very poor, sir. Beautiful thing, sir. I removed it. Right in this particular page, that alone gets changed. So in order to get more information, you need to write more queries here, or more. You need to pick more fields here. Select name alone, you have picked. So in the second query, I picked 5 to 10 fields. So like that, I picked on the fields. But if I need to teach this how to write a SQL query, it will take more time for me. So that Excel ODBC importing works on the principle of query. In the backend, there is a query. I copied this 4 5 SQL queries and I shown you how to import.
Okay, okay, sir. Understood, understood. I got your point.
So you have any other databases which has a SQL option of importing, you can change this to that particular appropriate syntax and import.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Got it.
You don't correlate this with the pandas. It is a separate technology called SQL.
Okay.
Okay, you have to be little proficient on that before you write that particular code here, so that it can be imported.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Sir, any other questions, sir, before I move forward on analysis using this pandas? I want to complete at least 4 or 5, sir. Any other questions, sir? This particular place. I know I didn't spend much time on the day when I took the session, so I want to clear all your queries now. I will share the sheet with you, sir, at the end of the day. Shall I move, sir? Yeah, sir. Now, data inputting we have seen. I told you you can use files like, for example, So you can use files like XML, JSON, CSV, Excel, HTML. You can do a web page, web scraping. For example, sir, I'm currently doing a Python project which logs in into the GST side, downloads all the notices automatically. Because today, there is no track record of notices which has been sent by the department. So this can be achieved through this. SQL now, last but not least, SQL which we done. So Tally, you can do a connection to a SAP application. So you can also connect to Zogo. So you can put any connectivity, sir. Any connectivity, any technologies you can able to work on. So it can import a file / SQL server, or it can use a direct application, or it can do a API call and import data. So these are the methods of importing data into Python. You can put a Excel file, many things you can put. So you can put an image, you can put any kind of information into Python. Currently, you have seen this, sir. Currently, you have seen this. This is done, and currently you have seen this done. So this is what you can do with this pandas. Sir, why I am spending much time on importing is, you as a chartered accountant, you all should know which source data can be imported. So you should know, or if you are unaware of this cannot be done, then you will not try this tool itself. So that is why I spent some time on importing. So you can ask a simple program like ChatGPT on how importing an Excel file, how importing a CSV file. You can ask. Also, you see here, sir. You can also ask, for example, write a code to email a Excel file from Python. That's it. Fine, sir. My internet today, it's making me cry, sir. I will move on. So you can write any scripts here. You can write any scripts here. Any kind of data you can able to import. Sir, is there any questions at this point, sir, in terms of types of data that can be imported into Python? Any questions or any specific items which you think cannot be imported in Python? I'm ready to clarify, sir. Friends, you all able to hear me, right?
So you are audible, sir.
Yeah. Fine, thank you. So any
sir,
questions
one
are
doubt,
on
sir.
in terms of data
Sir,
import?
one of my client having a recommend like he's in daily collection agents. Like So he is having a due amount in separate table. So I'm calling the due amount into a table and putting a everyday's collection into in the same table. So once the collection is done, updated due amount will be showing. So I have given the format like in Excel. So customers keep on adding the volume that Excel
Data.
couldn't handle. People like
Okay.
people are waiting like 15 minutes to open the record itself because I have made a condition saying people are joining in different dates. So only if they start from the start date to end date, the collection should be 100 days. So if he is joining from 1st
Okay.
of August, now it should be 1st of August. If he is joining tomorrow, now 100 days should be calculated from tomorrow. For achieving that, I have made a formula with if condition or other those things. So all those things has become the file as very huge one. People are waiting like 15 minutes just to open the file, and they didn't even close the file till the end of the day because they don't want to wait again one more time to open the file. So is there any way to give them a optimized way using Python or something?
Sorry, sir. I'm switching a machine now. I hope I'm audible to you, right?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Am I audible, sir? Can you? Okay. Again, there is a. I will not
Yes,
hear
you are
you.
audible. You are audible.
Just give me a moment, sir. Sasikumar,
Yes, sir.
just be on, sir. I cannot hear you now.
Okay.
I've given a worst infrastructure institute today. I'm sorry. Yeah. You're audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, fine. So you can, in that case, you can use a SQL server, sir, any SQL server in order to multiple data. Accounting data, I would rather suggest you put on Tally. But Tally can only take a data somewhere between 1 lakhs to 2 lakhs number of records. If it is crossing more than 2 lakhs records, I'm getting a message, internet unstable. But if it is crossing more than 2 lakh records, suggest you for a SQL server, sir. Your options can be like this, sir. You can start with or with SQL, where you can upload this data. Even from also you can upload this data. It will handle enormous amount of data. You can use Python later, connect with and do all reconciliations. Yes, sir. Shall I go on, sir? Next, before on this importing part of it, I'm ready to take it because data importing is the important point. On data to be processed. Any other questions, sir? Shall I move on? Sir, now we go and see the data managed so typical Excel file. If you take a typical Excel file, what every format, everything can be in Python. So whenever you see a typical Excel file, it can be. Okay, my voice is not. Oh my God.
Breaking, sir, your voice.
Sir, actually, room only I'm there, and nobody's really there to help me out at this moment. 1 minute, somebody. நான் மட்டும் it. Okay. Shall I move on to the next one, sir? I'm going to give the sheet, sir. I'm going to give the sheet. Okay. For example, let's assume I want to sort the data, which is by basically will do using this menu. In pandas, you can use sort the values. So I'm going to say here data dot sort values in brackets. I'm going to put the field name called it is by sorted according to the date. I'm going to say sorted according to the key. Double quotes dollar key. Teaser, what has happened? So it is sorted in a alphabetical manner. So earlier the data was showing a sales invoice. Now it is showing a journal invoice, and it was a line number called 2482 is appearing first. Earlier, first row item, the index 0 used to appear. So you can just directly use any field. Also, you can do a multiple field and you can do a sorting. First by key, then by, let's assume, voucher number, you can say, or alter ID, dollar alter ID. Run. No, I think I missed a. No, I missed a syntax here. No, it is actually sorted. I can also use one more time alter ID. It will sort according to the alter ID. Now see, you can see the item first altered is appearing at the, or last altered is appearing at the top. So this is one called sorting. So everything, this is filtering. So you can say filtering will be done like this in Excel. However, here you can say the value equal to so on. So this will help you in doing a filter. So like that, subtraction can also be done. For example, you can take two fields. So I'm going to say, for example, if you want to take the opening balance and closing balance, you can do a simple debit credit minus. So any mathematical any comparison out of it can be done. So you can go and do a small Google search on doing this sorting, filtering, inserting a formula. Everything can be achieved through pandas. So this is how you need to take it forward in terms of doing the analysis. Again, if I say data.head 10 items. See, now it is showing like this. Now again, I can write this last line. I can, for example, I can say data to CSV. So let's assume this particular place we did all this data manipulation and data analysis. So here this will go and save a data again back in a different sheet file. So you can go and utilize this various cells inside this Jupyter in order to do a specific function. For example, this particular box can be data input. Another script can be for data manipulation. Another one can be for calculation. Another one is for again deleting and things like that. So you can go and do any kind of information and take it forward. So whatever analysis you want to make, it'll be possible. And also there is one more important function called dot info, data frame dot info. This will give you analyze each and every field, tell you how many items are null, how many items are not null, what kind of information it is yes or no, it is a text or what kind of memory this entire the data frame is being using. It will be showing you. For example, if we have 50 or 100 or 5,000, 2,000 items, it will be helpful. We can visually we can see how many number of rows and columns has been filled. But see here, sir, we have this 36 data types. So the key, it is a non-null object. There are 5,677 records. So likewise, float 64 is a integer kind of object where it stores numbers. So master ID and alter ID also not null. The first null field comes in the reference date because 704 items only is filled, other items are not filled. So likewise, narration and reference number also not filled. So with this we can actually go and figure out what kind of fields are the data is saved and what kind of fields the data is not available. This will be helpful in analyzing each and every columnar of data on whether the complete information has been reported or not. In terms when you are especially doing with large volume of data, say for example 1 million rows, this particular item will really helpful in analyzing this. So this is called data.info. So I'll list out what are the things I've covered in this analysis part. So analysis is up to our sir. Data.info, data.head, some n. So you can say sorting, likewise I've written. Then this is also one function called data to CSV. Done only this much. So like this, you have enormous amount of things. Also, you can go and use you can ask ChatGPT or you can ask Google on what kind of analysis you have to make through this, and you can incorporate appropriately in the data frame. So also, very important point. There is something called a df.merger or a data, whatever data. It's basically a data frame. Data got merger. So which will do a VLOOKUP analysis of joining multiple tables or data frames into one frame. So all of this is possible in Pandas. So any questions, sir, now at this moment you want to take? Friends, any questions on this various functions inside this Pandas? Am I audible? I don't know whether I'm just speaking and I don't find any response
No
from your
question,
side.
sir. No question, sir.
Sir, where this can be useful? Any idea, sir? As from your point of view, what is your use case situations on this? Sir,
Where we
any?
have to extract data on a daily basis
Yes.
for reporting purpose, we can use this, sir.
Yes, for reporting purposes, we can use this, sir. And when you're handling large volumes of data, sir, for example, let's assume, let's assume you are going to handle 200 plus 300 plus tax audits. And we got the basic information of data from the Excel sheet. Learn on the basic data like master data of ledger and master transactional data you got. Now you want to create multiple reports, analysis, then this can be helpful, sir. So this can go do company by company and extract various reports. Whoever attended the yesterday's TDL session, we spoke about the last 5-10 minutes on having an informal study group where we can go and create reports from after importing the data into the two sheets into Tally from Excel to from Tally to Excel. So we spoke about creating multiple reports. One person I still recall, he said already 15 to 20 reports he has already made out of the data collection I made. So in that cases, Python can be introduced where this two Excel sheets can be or two sheets of data can be imported. We can use Python to generate all those data or all those reports and give in a separate CSV or a Excel file. So where multiple times our people has to do an import, multiple times we need to do an analysis, filtering, this pivoting, everything can be automated by the way of codes, which can be done in an automated manner. Also every time it is run, we can write furthermore scripts to email the sheet automatically. We can create a log data, we can save the original data, copy the data, upload it into a database. Any kind of thing is possible using this, sir. Recently, I have done importing 400 PDF files into one sheet, sir. This one I was doing, number one. So like that, I'm continuing. You can continue to explore this Python pandas on doing variety of stuff in your office. Sir, initially, this whole site, this whole website, I don't know how many of you are utilizing this. This whole website called gscauditor.in. Yeah. So still it's, yeah, this particular website, converts this JSON data, multiple GSTR1, 3B, 2A, 2B JSON into one single Excel file. So this particular site is actually basically a notebook written like this. A notebook written like this. And it is being converted into, using a Django framework, it converted into a website. So using this Jupyter, you can also do a web application like this, which can run and do a multiple analysis. So everything is possible, sir. For example, these two data frames the two tables we can import into the website. The website can give you the resultant of data, what this code used to do, or we are planning to do. As well as yesterday offer, anyone want to interested on take this Python analysis to a next level as a informal work group on on uh, on this data analysis from using the existing data or creating more automized reports. Very well, sir. We can you can let us know so that we can join and take it forward. And any more questions, sir? Finally, before I close the session, which you want me to take it?
Sir, Sasikumar here. Sir, I was asking about the data, that collection entries of my client making. So in this context only, sir, I'm asking, like, I have given a platform which they can easily made an entry at the front page, first page, it will show the ultimate balance of the customer. So can I do that in the same way what you are showing, that some website
Yes, yes,
application?
sir. You have to use Python. You have to use Pandas. You have to use something called Django.
Django to okay, for making it a web based.
Yeah, to convert into a web application, it will show you the balance.
Okay, so I'm using formulas inside the Excel only. I can call the formulas using the Pandas itself, correct?
Yes, yes, but you have to convert the entire Excel into a SQL database,
Okay.
and you can
Yes.
do whatever analysis you want.
Okay, I'm tried doing the same in MS Access, but Access I need to go again. I unlearn the Excel and
Access, it is only a model database, sir. It is used to, it'll help you to learn, understand the SQL queries and database. That's it.
Okay.
Access is only a model. It's a trial. You have to throw it, come out of Access, start using some SQL based online servers.
Okay, understand, sir.
And all reports can be automated using a Jupyter notebook like this.
Okay, so for giving the client, I can use Django to make it based.
Yes,
okay.
yes. So also there is a bit of learning curve, sir. Learning curve for you. You need to put some efforts before you writing some applications.
Understand, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Any other questions, sir?
Sir, I have a general question. So
Yeah.
in the sessions we are taking at the branch, can we share the drive directly, whatever you're sharing?
Yes, sir. That FDP tech, sir, the bit.ly.fdp tech, you mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, you can check, sir, but there are other faculties content. If you are going to take a TDL session, you are going to take a Python session, fine. If you share that, people will refer the other things. It is actually shareable material. But if they ask you questions, you have to be ready to, take it further.
Okay. So otherwise, what we do is create another drive and whatever we are.
Yes. You can personally give, sir. But also we can keep that drive active, sir. Now again, this particular class, I'm going to put it in that drive only ultimately.
Yes, sir.
Let's
Sir,
keep
Google Sheets data was not there. Mr. Karthik sir session, Google Sheets data was not there.
Sir, Google Sheet.
I
Mr.
think it has been
Mr. Karthik sir actually taken the session using his mobile phone, sir.
Okay,
So there was some. So institute felt that it will be recorded in sir's application. Unfortunately, I think it is not recorded, sir.
Can the sheets be made available, sir?
No. But the sheets I'll check with Karthik sir. Karthik sir is also on this group of participants, I guess.
Are you? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, Karthik sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
You're audible, sir.
Yes, you're audible. Go ahead.
Sir, my sheets are available in that Google Drive itself, sir. So you can open. Yes, sir.
இல்ல சார் நான் நேத்து ஆக்சுவலா செக் பண்ணேன். நேத்தா நான் செக் பண்ணேன். இல்ல.
இருக்கு.
ஓகே. நான் இன்னொரு தடவை செக் பண்ணிடுறேன் சார் இன்னைக்கு.
Sir, I'll just go into the site, sir.
Yes, sir, I think the 3 files are there.
Yes, sir. 3 files are there, sir.
Yeah, audit version 1.0 for FDP and import range for FDP and SIRC FDP Chennai Google Sheet.
Yes, sir. In that you have to take up with audit, sir.
Okay.
And
right.
Also, this Python, I'll show you quickly, what is that I have utilized in my office, sir. Sir, there is an application, sir, app.ramajayam.in. It's my application, sir. It is a task management software in my office. So, there is a very bad brand with you about this. This application basically, adds all the tasks in my office. You can assign a task to my people in my office, which is basically built on this Python Django platform. So I have a lot more functions on this. You can all the username and passwords of the client, which we basically put it in an Excel file. You can click on this client login details.
Oh.
So here you will have GST login details, traces login, income tax login details of all the clients. So one place, not relying on any Excel sheet or to save the passwords. So every details of the clients are available in this particular site. So irrespective of whichever system I am, wherever I am, which office I am, I log into my application app.ramajayam.in and I go and take these data.
So this
this
is
whole
your own, sir. You developed your own.
Yes, sir. Using Python Django. Using Python, I have developed my application.
So are you a software engineer or a chartered accountant?
Sir, I'm a chartered accountant, sir. By qualification and by skills, but also
Ultimate, sir. I really salute you.
Sir, it is actually, to knowing this only is difficult, sir. You won't believe, I don't even know a line of Python code in my life. Never sat in a classroom for Python. It is a 50-minute video, just 50 minutes video. I saw a small task to-do list application, something similar to this. I opened that video, kept it. I started on the day 3 of the lockdown. Within 1 week, I got a basic application.
Super.
2-3 weeks later, I got the GSTauditor.in, which can convert. So initially, it looks slightly struggle, sir. Then, doing all of this is a much more very easier. Now, my client wants any requirement, whereas sir said from multiple places, people will access. I'm deploying a web application like this. And
Super.
honestly, I never sat inside a classroom which teaches me code.
Can you share that? Can you share that half-an-hour video?
Yeah, sir. It is simple, sir. Python to-do list.
Python.
To-do list.
Okay.
See my that address bar to-do list. There'll be 5 or 10 types of video will come, sir. You can start doing that, creating a small website. Very important. The scripting skills you should know. Panda, some library skills you can make. You can create an application like this. Sir,
This is in YouTube video you are telling.
For instance, yeah. It will be in YouTube. You can go to Udemy. You will get a lot of videos.
Okay.
Basic Python Django web applications, sir. You can start that learning and develop and deploy an app like this.
Thank you, sir.
Advantages of this app, sir, I'm using from my mobile phone. If suddenly if I think about adding a task, I don't have a vendor to have a customized one. Very important, sir. When a task is added, to my people, SMS will be sent to the article.
Yeah, great.
So he cannot say, sir, a task is added, I didn't see. So, every night I sit across, I see all my mails and keep on adding tasks. And very important, sir, even the work in progress can also be added. Temporary files can be added. All of this is done using a Python Django framework, sir. Sir, initially might do a bit looks difficult, sir. Going further, will be the path will be very, very easy.
Super.
Okay. Yes, sir. Any other questions, sir, before we close today? And I think
Sir,
hand over to the next session.
like
Yes, sir.
you are showing now, sir. For us, you are showing this web application, sir. So when we are taking classes, we can show examples.
Sir, you can show the GSTauditor.in website, sir. GSTauditor.in. That converts the GSTR1 and 2B3B. It's all based in the same Jupyter notebook only.
Okay. Understand, sir.
Understand.
So they
And-
don't understand, right? Because it only they are seeing the user interface now on the front
Yes,
page.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, actually, when this session was initially planned, I think our regional council members, everyone felt this Python will be too heavy for the members. So, but they strictly said you should not allow the member to write any script or code. So that is why I came with this, writing this few lines of script, for the members in order to do. Python cannot be a GUI graphical user interface kind of a version to take it forward, sir. You need to write scripts for each and every functions in order to, take it forward. Without that, you cannot do it, sir. So for initial like starters, you can start with giving your automated scripts like this and ask them to try. And you can also spend some 1 to 2 hours invest on this and do small sorting, filtering, whatever Excel you did, you also do it and see whether it is working or not. Then you can take it to the chartered accountant. So the Python currently we were starting is very introduction part of it. It's not really, with this we cannot go to client and do any products or do any render any services. It is only just a introductory and use case scenario. What can be done? We need every one of you. At least I believe you need at least 10 to 20 hours on this before you. Yeah, before you take it forward to your to the participants in the institute, sir. But I would suggest you please go and just introduce them so that they can take it forward, sir. Also, very important point yesterday, in the session, most of my efforts were in connecting the data. Once data is connected, see, one member is replying, sir, I have already done 25 reports out of your data. So data is there. Our people are very good, sir. So likewise in Python also, I'm doing on with connecting the data and getting to the place of how to access the data. So taking it, the members can upon their interest, they can take it forward this Python pandas to the next level. Yes, sir. Any other questions, sir, before I hand it over to the next faculty? Okay. Hi, Deepika, you're there? Sir, any other questions, sir?
Sir, I'm here.
Oh, you already joined. Okay.
Yes,
So Deepika, we just got over Python and I was taking some questions from the members. So
Yes.
over to you.
Sure.
And friends, see you, and you can always ping me in the group. I'll post this particular queries shortly in the group, and you can also take it forward. Any questions, you can reach me personally. I'm ready to answer. All right. So over to Deepika, you can take it forward to the next session. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ramajayam, sir. Thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much.
Thank you.
Yes, Deepika, madam.
Illa, should we have some short break or can I continue up there?
Yes, please ask the participants, Deepika, madam. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just refreshed after taking this session, actually. In fact,
நீங்க
I don't
20
know.
hours refresh தான் சார் எல்லாரும் அப்படி இல்லல்ல
மத்தவங்களுக்கு எவ்வளவு நான் ரொம்ப பேசியிருக்கேன்னு தெரியல, அவங்களே கேட்டுக்கங்க.
Oh, sir. In between that, internet issues give some break, sir. So we can continue.
Yeah. Nowadays, Deepika, madam, I was put into the council room. Unfortunately, the bandwidth is not there.
Okay.
So now I'm sitting in chairman's room and I'm getting a good bandwidth. So please, whenever you're coming to the institute, come with your mobile phone, having a good, data plan and start. Otherwise, please do it from your office.
Yes, sir. Today I'm doing it from my home.
Okay. Over to you, Deepika. Please
Yes,
take
yes.
this forward.
Hello, everyone. I'm sure you are overwhelmed with all the techniques taught by Ramajayam, sir. Sharing screen is there. Yes. So Ratnagiri sir also will be joining us for clarifying things in Power BI. So how do you want to start? You have any specific queries, or can I go through?
Hello, madam. This is Python is over. Just now I joined actually.
Okay, sir. Yeah, Python is over, sir.
Oh, so meeting started earlier, I think.
Yeah,
So-
2 to 4 was Python session, sir. 4 to 6 is Power BI.
Oh, 2 to 4. Okay. So I will see the video. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Madam, only one doubt is there, whether we need to specialize in Python or whether we need to specialize in BA is the question.
Both are little different, sir.
Yeah, I'm just asking as a joke because everything is good. I know.
Yes, sir. So actually, where we want to apply, depending on that, we can change, sir. Like Python is good for establishing connections, like ETL. And it is little more advanced tool. Power BI is more like a reporting tool. Day-to-day activity, you want to do some audit, exception reporting. You want to, convert some data, analyze some data, put some nice charts, present some real-time reports in some fancy way, audit committee presentations, all that will actually sell for Power BI, sir. Power BI will be like a substitute for Excel. So I see like that, because in Excel, we always do only 2-dimensional data review.
Yeah. Yes.
In Power BI, we can do multi-dimensional data review. So it is
Yes,
more
correct,
like
correct.
a primitive tool, which has little more capabilities than Excel.
Power BI also we can connect with data sets.
Yeah, you can connect. You can connect with lot of data files, and you can do. So how shall we go about today's class? Shall I repeat some functionalities which
Last
we
time,
already...
on the day you were taking, no, ma'am, you just introduced about Power BI and you showed your
dashboard. Yeah.
dashboard which he created using Ramajayam sir's
EDL.
yeah. So can you show that applications what you have done in arriving that dashboards, so we can also build some such a dashboards?
Yeah, sure.
Madam, I have one small doubt.
Yeah.
See, in Power Query,
Okay.
we will get a close
Hello?
and load, and we will get Excel table.
എവിടെയാണെന്ന് അറിയാമല്ലോ, പറയൂ. എവിടെയാണെന്ന് അറിയാമല്ലോ.
1 minute, I'll just see if we can move.
Okay. But in Power BI, I didn't find to get them in that way, like what in Power Query. This is my only doubt. Is there any way to get the table as in Power Query in Power BI also? This is my doubt.
Yes, sir.
You can tell it later on while during your class. You need not explain now. On the due course, you can explain.
Yeah.
No hurry.
Sure, sir. Any other specific query? Any other specific question from anyone? Okay. So what I'll do, I'll share screen. We will see few areas of ETL. So how we can connect to different data sources. I think we have not seen different data sources on that day. We didn't cover importing PDF files, consolidating PDF files, etc., right? That day we did not have adequate time.
Not much.
Yes. So we will see some basics of data importing and how we can analyze. After that, we'll come to dashboard, because dashboard is the easiest once we know how to arrive at the consolidated data. So we will see how we are connecting to different data sources, how we are consolidating data, and then we'll see some dashboard examples. And the table view, surely I'll show you, sir. Table view is also possible, like in Power Query, Power BI also. So just I'll take a minute to open the files. Sorry, till 4 I was in a meeting, so I'm just opening all the. So I will just show you one important slide. So this is called ASCOM's quadrant. So since we are talking about Power Query and Power BI, I thought going through this slide is important. So this is called ASCOM's quadrant, where actually we have data in form of table. We have 4 category of data and 2 data points for each category. It can be any data for our classroom purpose. It can be sales for 2 products for 4 quarters. It can be salary for 2 people for a year, quarter-wise breakup. But what type of analysis we are able to bring out from this table data? Anyone?
Correlation.
Yeah, what type of?
Between X and Y.
No, from this data, what correlation between X and Y we are able to arrive at?
Yes.
So year-wise comparison or quarter-wise comparison.
Yes, but are you able to come at some conclusion based on this comparison?
Now, whether the variance is too much or something like that, whether
X
there is
seems to fare
growth
better
or
than Y
decline.
in most cases.
Yeah, X is greater than Y. Actually, if you see a little more further, X variable is the same for category 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
Correct.
If you observe well and see, that is there. Next level, if you furthermore observe, category 4, 8 is the repeat for all the months, and only 1 month we have an outlier, 19. Okay, so this is 2 insights which we can get from seeing the data or analyzing this table data. Here we have one outlier. If we see this X, it is actually same data. Okay, so it's like X is the constant variable, Y is the independent variable where it is changing based on different scenarios. Okay, but let's say when we do some statistical analysis, like sir mentioned, correlation, mean, okay, sample variance, linear regression, coefficient of determination. What we are noticing is these are data sets especially arrived by this statistician ASCOM for showing how different interpretations or different techniques can change the way you make decisions. Okay, so statistically, if you see the mean of X and mean of Y for all 4 data set is same. Okay, the correlation for all 4 category of data is same up to 3 decimal places. Regression line is same. So actually, if you see statistically, there is no difference in the conclusions arrived from this data set. Okay, so ASCOM is going 1 step further and he's plotting this into charts. Now, what type of insights you are getting? First category is fully scattered. You can say perfect market condition. We can say perfect growth scenario. Okay, if it is second data set, it is a declining trend. It means your decision making should be there for substitutes. What type of strategies I need to have for making a comeback to the industry. Okay, for third, it is fine. There is growth. There was some unusual parameter based on which my turnover or my cost has flung up very huge. Okay, and in the 4th category, there is market concentration, or I'm having too much payout in the same place. I mean to say, once the numbers are plotted, the mind how the mind is going to process the data is much different than how our mind processed this table data or this statistical output data. You are able to understand? So for this reason, I advocate that moving from Excel to Power BI is a very, very important and useful tool, because as an auditor, with every data set, with every data point, we are making decisions and conclusions. If we see this and make one conclusion, or if we see one chart and make that conclusion, our conclusions are going to be very, very different. Yes, all of you with me?
Yes, pictorial tells becomes more telling.
Yes, yes. So after that, with the pictorial, we have hierarchies, we have storyboard, storytelling. That is little more advanced. But base thing is, if we are able to visualize and data and see, it is much more better than plainly seeing some table data. So for this parameter, I have taken this slide. And this is like some audit tests which we can do based on category wise. If we put a pivot and see how we can take some decisions. So this will actually help in pattern identification. So most of the CFO dashboard chart is relating to classification. Then statistical parameters are base things like box plot, variance analysis. Those things and all will come under statistical, mean, median, mode, all are statistical. Number stratification, basically seeing grouping numbers from some number to some number, how we are going to classify. Then random diverse sources, like checking different, like payroll data and checking with vendor data, or taking case employee data, checking with high court cases or police records. Like that, we have a lot of random verifications which we can do, duplicate testing, gap testing. These are all some things which we can do in our regular day-to-day audit basis. Date validations we do very often. And especially if the client is in ERP, it is more valid because we have posting date, entry date, document date. 3 dates are there. So based on date itself, we'll be able to capture a lot of audit exceptions. So gap testing is missing data points, missing values, numerical value summations. Basically, this will be our pivots and summaries. So these are some techniques which we can deploy using Power BI in a day-to-day audit data. So Excel data, Tally data is little more primitive. Like we don't have so many data points, but yes, in ERP, we have much more data points captured. But it's not that we cannot do in Tally. That's what I told. No, the CFO dashboard, the entire thing was built from only Tally data. But furthermore, drilling down is not possible because there is limitation in the data captured in the system. Okay, so this was my quick introduction and concept setting. I'll just move. So now we'll just see from where this Excel and Power BI are getting consolidated. Okay, or how we are going to, what we need to learn in Power BI. So actually Excel and Power BI is not only from the, it's not just it's from the same vendor, it is actually in the same platform also. Like Excel, you have Power Excel, no, Power Query, Power Charts, Power Pivot. Okay, if you compare that, all that is there in Power BI. Okay, Power BI and Power Query works on the same platform. Okay, and there are overlapping things is instead of pivot tables, Power Pivot tables are there, no? Instead of pivot tables, we have report view. In report view, you are building multidimensional analysis. Instead of pivot charts, you are going to have visualizations. Okay. Instead of Power Maps, you are having actually maps only. Here also it's called Power Maps only. Power Maps is here. Then you have publishing and collaboration. Now Office 365, even there publishing and collaboration is possible, where multiple people are working in the same worksheet. In Power BI also same thing is possible. And these 3 are exactly same. That is my Power Query, Power Pivot, DAX. These 3 are exactly same what we use in Power Query Excel and Power Query Power BI. Now, can I use Power Query itself and not use Power BI? It's a very good, valid question. But here again, Power BI is built for Power Query. Okay. But for Excel, Power BI is added. You understand? So the efficiency when you work with large volume of data will be much higher when we work in Power Query plus Power BI than in Power Query plus Excel. Okay. And what is the major, one more thing is when you work with Power Query editor in Power BI, we can have both Power Query editor and Power BI desktop open parallelly. In Excel, it's like one instance only. Like for example, let me get into some sample data. So what happens when you connect to some data set into Power BI? Okay. You can open actually Power BI and Power Query in parallel. So I'm going to just say some sample purchase register I'm taking in. So Power Query editor and Power BI both can be open in parallel. So let's say I'm connecting to a source and I'm having transform data. Okay. So load data means directly it will load to Power BI desktop. I'm going to give transform data. So it will load to Power Query editor. Okay. So now if you see, there is two instances, untitled Power Query, Power BI desktop and Power Query editor. Okay. Here also there are two things, Power Query and Power BI desktop. Now in Excel, that will not be the case. You can have only one in open. You cannot have both in open. So you can work at a time in Power BI or Power Query only. So that is one more differentiator from using Excel Power Query to Power BI Power Query. Okay, but functionality wise, almost it will be same. You can do the same activity here. After all, it is our comfort zone where we want to do what. Okay, but in general, this is the base for selecting Power BI desktop. So as you may be aware, there are multiple versions of Power BI desktop. So we are using Power BI desktop. Already download files and all are shared with you. So it is available for Microsoft and also MacBook versions. You need to just see MacBook has certain incompatibility for certain add-ins, etc. and all, but Microsoft is best. I mean to say Windows is best for this because again, it's all from the same vendor. So the desktop version is free. In desktop version, you get a cloud space. If you log in, you can save to your own cloud. Okay. So I'll just close and apply. So what happens when I give close and apply is the Power Query data will get loaded into Power BI desktop. Now the questions are asked like in Power Query where the data is getting stored. Okay. Once it is loaded, oh, I loaded a very big register. Okay. It has 1 lakh rows. So if you see here I have table view, report view, relationship view. In this report view, all my data will be there. Okay, so let's say I'm having n number of tables. Let's say I'm having 10 tables. All 10 tables data will be here. Sheet 1, sheet 2, vendor name, purchase register, GST number, whatever tables I'm having. Like how in Excel we'll be having sheet names in the below. Same like that, we'll be having sheet names here, wherein each sheet I can open. It will show me what all columns are there in the sheet. Like Ratnagiri sir explained the other day, it is columnar database. So inside the column, we cannot go and change any amount. But for the column, depending on the context, you can write a formula, you can do some transformation, change font, change character, split column, all that you can do. Okay. So now this is the data view. So from this data, I want to move to Excel because I'm using, let's say, Power BI only for ETL. ETL means extraction, transformation, loading. It's not a very advanced word, so you can use it. ETL is the basically data extraction, transformation, and loading. So let's say I'm going to extract this data. Okay. Only for extraction I'm using. I don't need a dashboard. Let's say you are doing some 26 AS reconciliation. You don't want build big dashboard and all. You want only data in PDF or JSON file converted into table. What you can do, you can right click, you can give copy table. Okay. It will copy the entire table. You can move to Excel and do any working you want to do. So this can be for the plain data also. Even after you do all the analysis, some summary data you are having, that also you can do. Either way, you can use this report view. So this is the data set. The entire 1 lakh data rows will be copied here. Yeah. 1 lakh. Yeah, 85,000 rows are there. So all that has come here. So from visual, if you want to export, only the visual data will go. Like for example, let's say I'm building one area chart here based on this sheet. So I want vendor name, okay, vendor wise total amount is there, total GL value. Okay, this is one chart I have built. Okay, this is very, very big chart because each vendor, there are like thousands of vendors. So it's a very, very big chart. So now this chart I want to export. Okay, actually you cannot export as such. Okay, what you need to do is you can export this data behind the chart. It will come like this. CSV file, data set for audit. I'll just put it in desktop. The pivot which Power BI put for us. So this is the pivot it has put. The vendor name, amount, like this value will come. But let's say you want to view this from different device. Okay, this chart, I'll give file and I'll give export to PDF. So as a PDF, each page in Power BI will get generated in the current view itself. So in this view, I have selected something. I will just come out so that all colors will be fully visible. The color theme is very distinct. Okay, anyways. So what happens? It will get generated as a PDF. So how PDF is generated? For each page in Power BI, okay, it will generate one PDF. Same like this, as an image, it will put, and it is capable of creating PPT also. It's not possible here. It is possible after you publish. Okay. So for now, I have simple words explained how this interface with Power BI works. Okay. For a single user license, that is, we are currently working on what? Power BI desktop, right? So you need to have some organization ID, okay, some domain ID with which you can log in. Otherwise, if you are having a Gmail or Hotmail ID, you need to create a login with Microsoft account. Then that account, it will take it as a valid account for creating a Power BI account. Once you create this, what happens? There's a workspace that is created into Power BI Cloud. Okay, powerbi.microsoft.com. Like that, they have one. Okay, let's. One website. In this, your account will be created. Okay. So this account, why it is useful, I will show you. All of you create a login that is actually useful. There is a 30-day trial for the pro version, which will come by default. But after that also, it will continue to come. It will show this showing me like this for nearly 5 years now, I think. Okay, because I'm not collaborating, I'm working on only my data, right? So it's okay for me to have. So it will create something called as workspace. Below left-hand side, I'm having my mouse, I hope that is visible, workspace. In this workspace, your chart will get saved, like as soon as I publish. So I'm going to give export, publish to Power BI Cloud. So now what is happening? Power BI desktop, which was fully your desktop application. Okay, I have not saved that file. So it's showing. Okay, so long it was a desktop file. It was a Excel file which you created, which you imported to Power BI. You created some dashboard. So now what you're doing, I'm publishing to Power BI Cloud. Now, by doing this, what happens? This file becomes accessible from your Power BI account across the systems what you are having. Now, let's say you are having an enterprise license and you have people who are accessing or you want to share this report with. Then from this place, from which place? From your Power BI workspace. So this is my workspace, right? I'll refresh. Yeah, this is the sample one. See, today is 4th August. Today, my dashboard and the data both are got published. So I can open this report. Report is a dashboard view. This report you can access from Power BI Cloud. Okay, this was the dashboard we created. So here also you can edit, but editing in Power BI Cloud, you can edit all the dashboard related items. Okay, you cannot edit Power Query related items. So here you have export PPT also. Embed as image, embed with light data. So 2 options are there where you can export to PowerPoint. So embed means it will embed the link. So as the dashboard changes, that will also change. As image means it will be a static report which is getting updated. Okay. So, but this PPT is not available in desktop version. Only after you publish it will come. Okay. Next is share. Share is so now what happens is if you are in an organization account, it will be available for you to share within your organization only. So basically this is for MIS and it is for like teamwork only. So outside people, it will not allow by default, but you can create specific access to someone to view, but for them it will be only view mode. Okay, you can decide if you want to give edit option, but generally edit option will go only to people within the same domain name. If you give it to some Gmail account, edit option won't go. You can try, but when I tried, did not go. And generally we don't have reason to send to outside people. We send only as reports where we are summarizing and putting in PPT, or we itself will present to the board or management. Okay, like we have the chart we present with our system. Okay, so till here, any doubts on the interface and the applicability or usage? Because
the Excel, yeah. I understood because we have to right click in any cell and export, isn't it, madam? The answer to my question was there in what you explained, isn't it?
No. Can you come again?
I had asked how to get to the table like we get in Power Query. So you showed it that.
Yes.
By right click and export.
Copy table.
Okay. And now from the chart, I didn't understood. You showed, but once more, chart data, how to get. That is my only.
I'll show you. So chart data, there are only 2 ways to get. Okay. One is you export to
any chart you can.
Yeah. This is one small chart we put now.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
3 dots.
3 dots.
Okay.
For every chart, there will be 3 dots. In that, we give export data.
Okay.
This will export the data behind the chart.
Okay.
We will not export the chart. If you want to export the chart, we can export file, export as PDF.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to do it as PPT, we need to publish. So when you publish, the data will be getting uploaded to Power BI Cloud. Like once you save photo into gallery, how it is syncing with Google Photos. Like that, this is syncing to Power BI Cloud once I give publish. So whatever in your Power BI Cloud, you can access from across location. And in that, main thing is you can export directly to PPT, each dashboard. Yes. Now clear, no, sir?
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any other doubt? Balaji, sir, any specific industry or something? If you give some example, I can explain further, like where it will be useful in audit. any audit, we are mainly doing what, sir? Reconciliation, matching data, okay, finding differences. Okay, so for all three, Excel will be relevant. Let's say you want to analyze bank statements. You can import directly bank statements to Power BI and look at where all what type of narration has gone, how the entries have come, whether the names which are there in the bank statement and names which are there in thing is correct. So purchase means we'll do mainly analysis in terms of variance, whether how much vendors are there near the company, how much people are there outside or very far distance from the entity, what is the economies of scale, like that. Lot of management decisions we can take. And apart from that, we can also do decisions on reconciliation. Reconciliation means like GST to 26 days to sales register, okay. PR, purchase request to PO to purchase invoice. So there are a lot of audit scenarios where we can use, like for example, we are doing a lot of BFSI related companies, banking and financial institutions. There we use Power BI for recalculation. Recalculation means charges, interest rates, loan EMI calculation, interest outstanding or principal outstanding, revalidation. Like we process again whatever rule engine which is there in the system. No, they are having this scheme type, this product, this percentage. Okay, so we can write formulas for the same and we can see how it is calculated, whether it's correct or not. Let's say we have days past due, DPD, right? How many days overdue that account is. So like that, we can do a lot of calculations and we can do. So mainly this only, matching the data, reconciling the data, then reperforming data. So these things will be there. Any specific things you have, I can clarify. If you give some industry example, which you want to apply Power BI and try. Like that, if you have something, you can tell me. Okay, nothing. Okay. Okay, you want to like, let's see, this procurement data itself I have taken, no? Now let's say I need to teach you a difference between Power BI formulas. So that day we haven't done any formulas, or without formula also I'll show you, with formula also I'll show you. Now let's say we want to understand, this is a purchase register, right? So there are different vendors. Okay, we have dates, we have unit rate. Okay, we have unit rate. Then we have quantity, transaction value, TDS, total value. So this much data points we are having. So per unit cost is there. Material number, is it there? Yeah, material code is also there. Now we can identify for each material, what are the different prices at which we have bought during the year. Okay, so or let's say first I want to see where all it is not material code. Then I have to check whether it is service related or why there is no material code. Now I want to build a report. So till how I imported the data, are you clear? I went to get data. Okay. And what I did, I selected Excel workbook. I gave connect. Once I gave connect, I went and navigated to where my data was. And then I gave open. Okay, after I gave open, what did I do? I gave transform data or load data. Either way you can give. Transform data means it will go to Power Query editor. Okay. If you give load data, it will directly come to Power BI. Okay. This is some vendor master. Like this. So you select inside that sheet, which sheet you want, sheet 1, it gives you a preview, and you have load transform. Load means it will load into Power BI desktop. Transform means it will load into Power Query editor. Okay. So now I am giving transform data. Transform data means it will go to Power Query. So in Power Query, let's say there are 3 base things. Okay. Transform column, add column, and home tab. These are the 3 tabs which we have in common. So what these 3 tabs do? Home column is generally a summary. It has all shortcuts. So mostly all the items available in home tab in Power Query are available in right click in each column. Pivot columns, unpivot columns, replace by, split column, choose column, keep column, delete column. All this, if you see, are there on top also, in home column also, in right click also. It's more like a shortcut. Okay. Okay. So now in transform tab, what is there? Here also you are having split column, statistics, unpivot columns, which was very similar to items in home column. So why it is here? Transform column means whatever you do from the transform column, it will actually change in the same column. Like for example, let's say you want to change. It is having time and date. Okay. You want to split the time. You are giving split column by delimiter something. Okay. From transform tab, when you give, I'm going to just give split by number of character. So from far left, I want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is for relating to time. Okay. And I give okay. So once I give this, what happens? This column is here and the time column is split. But if I give the same function from add column tab, okay, what will happen is whatever change I do will come to a new column. Now, let's say I want to not keep the date. I want to make day, which day of the week it is, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I want this. If I do from transform column date and I say day of week, what happens? It is automatically changing. Wait, I have to put name of the day. 0, 1, 2, 3 means Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. If I use name of the day function, day, name of the day, it will come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday itself. Okay, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like that. So now, what happened? The date went and it changed itself into name of the day, right? So I'm going to, in the applied steps, I can go to revisit any old step, delete a step, or add new step. So I'm going to delete extracted day of name. And instead of taking from transform tab column, I'm going to add a column. And then I'll take day, name of day. So now automatically what happened? The step was not extract day name. It is inserted day name. So it created a new column and it called it Sunday. Okay. So this is the base difference between transform tab and add column tab. So you can also do like duplicate a column, then go to transform tab, change something. But for ease of functionality, if you see Power BI, it is totally very, very simple interface, very easy to use, not much of very hard coding and all. Simple Excel-like formulas are sufficient. And there are a lot of menus, and these menus keep updating very frequently, like new features keep coming. So through menu itself, we'll be able to do a lot of functions and we'll be able to ease our work. Okay. So now like this, from Power Query, we can do base data preparation. First connecting to the data source and base data preparation. Okay. So those two we can do now through Power Query editor. Now let's say few things also I can change, like postal code, it is a number. But on a practical context, you think we will never use postal code as a number data. We are not going to add postal code. We are not going to subtract postal codes or do any mathematical calculations with postal code. So what you can do is these formats and all you can change into text. Okay. Just as a best practice thing I'm telling, it's not mandatory. What happens when you make it as a text, it becomes easier for you to take this as a filter context. Like for example, you can do some analysis based on which pin code, how many vendors are there. So for that analysis, you can use instead of addition subtraction. If it is a number, what happens as soon as you put into it, it will do count or it will do some or some other filter. I mean to say, it will not take as a category variable. So similarly for PO numbers, we are never going to add or subtract PO numbers, right? So even those things can be made into text. So these are all simple things where we can prepare our data set. Now, but in my data set, I have all the requirement things like amount per unit cost and unit. All three are available. So this is vendor master. Vendor master is having name, vendor code, postal code, city, address, phone number, see lot of unwanted things are there, which is very difficult to analyze. PAN number and all is there. Same like this, I can evaluate for PO also. I can rename the sheet. It's coming sheet 1, sheet 2, no? I can right click, rename. This is purchase data. And sheet 2 was vendor data. I can right click and rename. So similarly, I have some things like reference duplicate. Duplicate means it will create copy of the sheet. Reference means from which step you have completed, no? From here, it will take a new sheet and reference to this sheet. So now source is actually purchase file. So this will have the view till what we have done there. Okay. So here nothing. So let's reference purchase vendor data. So in vendor till day name it will come. Okay, till whatever step already done in the original file, till there it will come. So now we'll go to one simple dashboard. Okay, I will show you how to do it with formula and without formula. After that, I will take one dashboard from the CFO dashboard and show you how that can be done. Okay, we'll go to file, close and apply. So it will close Power Query and it will load to Power BI desktop. The other two sheets are not wanted, so we can delete. Okay, so it is having some error. So we can go and see the error and resolve the error. So for again, now first time when we imported, automatically it went to show where Power Query is, right? So now from the dashboard, if you want to do from home tab, there's something called as transform data. Here, if you go and give transform data, it will go to Power Query editor. So what is the error? So in vendor sheet, one postal code has not read. So postal code is not a relevant data. So what I can do, I can give remove errors or I can give replace errors with 0 or something like that. So that number gets corrected and after that it will load. And anyways, I don't want vendor to sheet. So I will delete vendor to sheet. It is the same error only. That's a repeat step I need to do. And this error sheet also, we can delete entire error group. Okay, so this way, we'll have only needed data. And we can give close and apply. So if you click on the data, it will come. View will come once you click on which sheet you want. Okay, so now let's see small thing like purchase price variance. We'll see how to do. So we have unit rate and we have material number. Now let's say these are the files which I'm going to use. I will rename these columns and keep which all are my relevant things. What I'll do, I will rename it or I will add some apostrophe or some special character before the value, so that it comes on top. Otherwise, I have to keep scrolling, searching for which data, where it is. So let's say in purchase file, I'm in purchase file. I want vendor name. Okay, then I want, it's generally in alphabetical order, but still it is little complex if you want to search among lot of data points. I want to rename quantity. I am renaming unit rate. I'm just adding one before, one underscore like that. So that all will come in front, nothing else. And this was my material code. So what happens now if I do this? Automatically in my dashboard view, I did all this in data view. Same thing can be done here also in right click searching, but yeah, I did it from the report view. So now I want material number. Based on the material number, okay, I want to take unit rate, per unit rate, okay. And see, these are the data which does not have material number. So like in Power normal Excel pivot, okay, we have something called as implicit measure. Implicit measure means whatever column we are populating here. I hope you can see my pointer. Left hand side below this visualization chart, I have material number, unit rate. So here in this unit rate, I have something called as implicit measure. Here I can give, select what data I want. So I'm giving maximum. Okay. Again, I'm populating unit rate. And here I'm giving minimum. Okay. So now I have all the data which I want with maximum and minimum. Okay. So now I want to remove this. Let's say this one item, I don't have material number. So this minimum maximum is not making sense. Then you can remove it. You can say exclude. Then it will exclude from the visual. Like this one-off things, if you want to exclude, you can do from right click itself. Okay. But let's say you want to filter a lot of things, like wherever minimum is 0. That means it is not correct data, right? That means there's no purchase. Let's say you want to remove, for an example, I'm telling. What you can do is, there's something called as filter tab. I think this also we couldn't cover the previous day. So we have visualization fields is the tab where we are seeing the base data and column headers. After that, we have visualization tab where we have the visuals, columns, and some drill throughs. In the visualization tab, there are 3 sub tabs. So first one is for analytics, where the visual charts are there. Second one is for formatting the visuals. Let's say in this chart, I feel this table design or size, all these are not nice. So, and I want a header for this. So let's say I want to give a name. I want to make the header size little big. Okay. And I want to give column header. Okay, I changed the header totals. I don't want totals because for variance totals are not relevant, right? I will switch off totals. Then I want, let's say, where is header? Okay, this is relating to visual. General is there. General, there's something called as title. Here, if I enable title, I can give a name to the title instead of table heading 3. Okay, I can give here purchase price variance. Okay, so now I got a heading for my data. Okay, so like this, these things are available in my format visual. Next, first one was analytics, where I can choose chart. Second one was visualizing. Third one was, sorry, formatting. And third one is a global search. Currently, for this visual, it is not there. This is whenever you have KPIs, insights. This is a AI feature available in Power BI, where if you already have charts, it will give some insights. Sales is this is high, this is low, like that. It will give some recommendations. That is there. Okay, so fields and visualization is over. There's nothing much. It's very simple. Next is the most powerful tab, which is called filter tab. So what is filter tab? Filter tab is basically tab where I can add or remove things into a chart. Okay, this could be based on any of my business thing. Okay, it based on any of my audit or business requirement. And for audit per se, this will be very, very useful and very, very important. Okay, because in audit always we'll be having false positives. False positive means, you know, this vendor always rate will be different. but that data will come to you in your report every time. So you want to remove that vendor name. Or let's say there is some vendors blacklisted, okay, whose numbers you don't want to bring here, or you want to bring only blacklisted. So that's a filter context you want to add to this report without saying in each column that it is a blacklisted. Then like that, whenever you want to create an inclusion or exclusion parameter, you will do it through this filter pane. Okay. See what we gave right click and exclude automatically became exclude here. So this came as filter on visual. So filter is of three types. One is filter on visual. Second type is filter on page. Filter on page means for all the charts in the page, it will work. Now, let's say I have this one chart. I'm going to put one more chart. I will put one more chart, which is going to be vendor name and total amount, total value. Okay. So this is two charts. So now in both the charts, okay, I want to exclude something, or all the charts in this page, I want to exclude something. Then I will do it in filter on this page. So now in filter, what is the more important thing or more excellent feature is you can include columns which are not there in the chart. Like for example, here I have material unit price amount. Here I have vendor name, vendor total. But all this I want to filter based on a sixth category of item. Let's say vendor state. I don't want any vendor from this state. Okay. I don't want to put as a filter here. Wait. I want to put it as a filter on page. Let's remove from here. So actually, whatever you select first, to that it gets added. So let me just come out. Add a filter on this page. I'll select vendor state and put filter on this page. So now I have separately filter on visual when I select the visual. So if I select the visual, filter on visual will come. So now I selected outside visual. So now filter on page has come. So here, let's say AP, AR, Chennai, Hyderabad, Jharkhand, all this is there, no? I don't want all the blanks. Anything which is not having state classification, I don't want to verify. So now automatically both the charts, this 47,000 line items will be removed. Let's say I'm going to remove all this and I say I want to see only the 6 invoices related to AR12. My entire table, entire gamut of my dashboard will change to this filter context, which I have done. So similarly, if instead of, so I can clear the filter. So filter also is of multiple parameters, like you can have basic filter, advanced filter. In advanced filter is there above, less than, in between, and or is blank, is empty, like that you have multiple conditions. So this filter, why I'm saying it's a very, very useful tool for auditors is we need not write if formula anywhere. Okay. Generally, why we'll write if this is not there, go and bring this. If that is not there, go and bring this. Substitute for this, substitute for that. So generally, why we write if formula only to give some parameters for giving decisions, right? So now if we are going to use this filter context, the requirement of writing if formula is totally ruled out and it's fully menu driven. Okay. So I can remove the filter, and most important thing is even in Excel, Power Query, wherever you put filter, it is not visible immediately what all filters are active in one page. You have to go and see whether it's filtered correctly, not filtered correctly, like that and all. Here means you see as soon as you scroll down, all the filters are visible. So here what is there in visual means in each visual, what are the filters that are put. Like that on a scroll of, I mean to say, let's say multiple filters you are putting. So I'm putting excluded materials that are blank, unit rates less than 1,000 rupees. I'm taking materiality. Those all will be peripherals or consumables. I don't want to verify. Then I put apply filter. So all units which are less than 1,000 will get removed. I'm giving show items less than 1,000. I have to give show items greater than 1,000. Okay. So then that 6 will be removed. So only 1,800 item is there. So now let's say I don't want, so like this, multiple filters I can put, and all filters are available in the face of my working. Okay, so that's how filter context is working. Any doubts on filter, on loading data, on bringing some tables in, and 3 tabs? Okay, if no questions, we will move on to, can you explain to how we can build a visual with this? So now we saw implicit measure. So with this implicit measure means what did we do? We populated the table required. We have put it in column, I mean to say as a normal table function, and we just click this down arrow, made it maximum. Click the down arrow, made it minimum. So what happened? Automatically minimum of rate has come here, maximum of rate has come here, and we have a variance chart. So this variance chart, what we can do, we can put a line chart and we can see how the trend has moved for each item. So now all the items where these are touching, I don't have one item is, there is no variance, both rates are same. Otherwise the parameter, it will be like one time purchase where both rates are same. It's only one quantity. So both scenarios will be there. Wherever there is a variance, this will be the thing. So now that is from which vendor, you don't have to include in the same chart. You can always have multiple charts in Excel. That is the, in Power BI, that's a major advantage. So I'll put vendor name was there, no? Yeah, I'll put one more chart, vendor name and total value. So total value I'm putting, but let's say you are going to click only on this data. Okay, only this data related item will come. So this item, this 4 vendors I have purchased for this much value. Okay, so I want to populate in a different chart. Okay, this vendor composition chart I can do. Okay, so now let's take this. This minimum, maximum, both are same. So sometimes for audit purpose, table data is better. I'm saying table data is also required. I'll not say better, is also required along with visual data. So one we can have table, one we can have visual. See, it's only one vendor. So this vendor, I can have entire PO details so that it is more useful. PO number, then total values already there. Unit price also can be there. Okay, so now if you see, I can just go through all the variants. So it's only one quantity, no problem. 2 quantity at unit price. So all same price. Now here, whenever there's variance, I can see, okay, in different vendors, what are the prices, what is the unit rate. Okay, this is one way of doing it without writing any formulas. Okay, now I'll just introduce you to formulas. So we have different ways in which we can write formulas in Power BI. In that, one is called as measures and the other one is called as calculated columns. It is called as calculated columns. Okay. We'll just quickly go through it. So these things I have already shown, data view, report view. Okay, so this is DAX. So DAX means it's a formula language used in Power BI to write formulas. DAX stands for data analysis expressions. It can be used in 2 ways. So it is the same technique, only application is 2. Like DAX for calculated column and DAX for measures are going to be same. Okay, but it is 2 different applications. Okay, so now how do you write DAX? It is like, let's say in Excel you have one sum function, same sum function you will have in Power BI also. Instead of giving cell reference, you have to give column reference. That's all. Instead of giving cell reference, in Excel we would have given A1 to C10 like that. Now I'll give transaction means table name and column name. Table name and column name reference I'll give. So instead of row column referencing, I have to give table column name referencing. So if I do that, then my formula will work as such in Excel. Okay. So this functions, which all functions won't work in Excel, in Power BI? Relationship based functions won't work. Like for example, VLOOKUP, you cannot put VLOOKUP in Power BI. Why? Because in Excel, we had to put VLOOKUP to connect two tables. But in Power BI, we have to create relationships. That is when there are two tables, I will create one primary key, one foreign key, and I have to connect two tables, and then only I have to pull that data in. Okay. So that way, relationships is little different in Power BI than in Excel. But all other formulas, same like Excel, you can put if formula, sum formula, wherever you use not equal to in Power BI, same thing you can use, like whatever you use in Excel, same thing you can use in Power BI. So DAX operators, if you just go through quickly, all the arithmetical operators are same, all the comparison operators are same, all the logical operators are same. So similarly, like Excel and this will be very, very, very similar. Okay. So calculated column. So now we got introduction to what DAX is. Now we are going to see what calculated column is. So in a calculated column, I am going to create a new column to the database. Like for example, whichever table you are importing, okay, in that table, okay, you are going to create a permanent column which everybody can see, okay, where we can use it for all analysis in reports. Okay. So generally calculated columns are created for creating category data. Okay. Or you want to create a calculation. Like for example, category data means I'll give you one example. Now in the same data set what we are having, okay, in data view, I'm having so many material number which is in thousands or lakhs. Okay. This many data points to analyze is very, very, very difficult. Okay. It is fact, it is very difficult. See, it is going on and on and on. How much big chart you see? This is not a visualization itself. So main thing in the CFO dashboard, what we have done is we have grouped all the GLs. So you bring it to 10, 15 comparable items, only then you can make analysis. If you're going to have hundreds or thousands of items, you cannot bring any decision making. Okay. So now let's say you want to further categorize this into smaller group of material codes. Okay. You want to further categorize into smaller material codes. Then what you need to do is you can just go to the data. Okay. And going to data view, you click right click and there's something called as new group. Okay. So whatever data is there, you can choose what type of group you want. Let's say all up to 105, starting with 105 or 104 is going to be a particular group. You create a group and you call it, let's say category A. Okay. Then next set I'm going to create. See, now I'm randomly creating, but there should be some scientific way we have to understand client business and we have to do. Okay. So in this thing also, if you see virtual CFO dashboard also, we have created a lot of such categories of data to identify which are our current assets, which should be taken into which ratio, which should come in which type of classification like that. Okay. So now for classroom purpose, I'm going to do, I'll give category, just double click and change to category. So category B. So all others I'm going to include in other group. So now what happens? It is creating a calculated column. So if you see, blanks also I should have added, I think. Since blank I did not add, blank it came as a separate column. But apart from that, if you see blank, category A, B, C, which I manually categorized, and category other. So all four are created. So now this is a calculated column. I calculated not by a formula. I calculated by using a function called as new group, which comes when I right click the data. Okay. So now let's say I want to calculate something. I want to see whether unit price is right. I want to calculate unit price, the PO value divided by quantity. Okay. Now that is a calculated column. So what I'll do, home, or in column tools also you can create new column. So now what I do, as soon as I do this, I get a place where I can type a formula. So here I can type a formula. I'll call it unit price. I'll put 1_ unit price. Okay, and I'm going to give total PO value. So the search will come. So total value divided by, it was U underscore something, no? Yeah, unit rate. It was unit rate or unit quantity. You want to calculate unit rate. So unit value divided by unit quantity. So this is a plain arithmetical formula which I'm giving. Okay. So new unit price is created. This is a calculated column. Okay. But where all calculated column you cannot do, I'll say. Now let's say you want to calculate sum of different vendor, or let's say sum of total purchases with different vendor. That is your objective, or count of invoices per state. That is your measure objective. So now those things cannot have a column context at all, right? That is, let's say you want to calculate sum of particular material. That will not have every row one output, right? It will create only output from an overall perspective. It will not have output. Okay. It will not have output on each sheet, right? Okay. So what we need to do, those things cannot be created as a column. So we will create as a measure. Okay. All items where we are having every row one output, and it is absolutely required to create unit price. Okay. Those things I will be creating in column, because it's going to create increase the memory of the data. It is going to increase the number of columns. It will have different context. Okay. So those things I'll not be in a position to create as a measure. I have to create as column only. Okay. Calculated column means every row there should be an output. Next is measures. Measures means I will not have every row one output. Wherever I cannot visualize having, like for example, I'll show you now, then you will understand. New column. Okay, I'm going to give column sum of vendor. I'm going to give equal to sum of vendor total PO value. Okay, total PO value. Now what is happening here? It will give the same amount for all rows, which is wrong. See, this should have been total row. This is not a valid row context. So I cannot create this as a, or I can create as a column, but it will not make any sense if I create as a column. So what I should create as, I should create as a measure. Measure means I cannot see. Now let's say I'm going to, instead of selecting from column, I'm going to create as a new measure. Okay. So I'm going to create as a new measure. So, oh, sorry, this thing got, okay. Yeah, I'll create a new measure. So in new measure, what I'm going to do is, okay. And I'm going to use the formula sum. And then I'm going to use total value. Okay, total value. And I'm going to close. So now if you see, this does not create a separate column in my data set. Okay, the thing I created was sum of purchases, but it created a measure here. This thing is for measure. This small calculator box is for measure. Okay, So when you create a measure, okay, it will not create a row context in the table, but it will be stored in the internal memory of the Power BI. Okay, and it will give you output in dashboard. Now let's say sum of purchases, it is totaling my what? Total purchase value. Now this sum, I can increase the context in which I'm visualizing. Like for example, I can put vendor state-wise. So it will give state-wise total of purchases. Now let's say inside state-wise, I'm going to change plant also, include plant also. Okay. So plant, I will give don't summarize, so that it will take as text. So plant-wise, in each plant in the state. So in this state, AP37, I'm having around 14-15 plants. For each plant, what is the total purchase I have got? So now this is what a role of a measure. Measure will not have a place in the table. You cannot see the measure in the table view. You can only see a measure in the visual view in the report table. Okay. And its capability is much more than the calculated column. Okay. This is the very unique feature where it will help you in all multi-dimensional analysis, and one formula you write can be used for n number of visuals. Okay, so measure is used to make multi-dimensional analysis of data. It can recalculate or compute based on the filter context. So filter context, what I meant was the row context, where I drop in more columns. Based on the more columns, the amount is going to change. This is called as row context or filter context. Okay, measures are not visible on the data view. It is stored in the internal memory of Power BI. Okay, it is something equivalent to a dynamic column field. Okay, it's like a dynamic column field. Okay, so is it going over the head, or you're able to understand? Any questions? Anyone wants me to repeat anything?
Yes, how to start a calculated column? The icon, I saw the icon for new measure, but calculate column, please. That how to start?
Yeah, you go to report view. See, actually, no, everything you can start in this field, right click also, if you give, it will come. Okay, new measure, new column. So any column name you keep and right click, it will come. Otherwise, actual menu, if you go to this data view, in data view, table tools, you will have new measure, new column. For you, it will make me little different, since in my like this, it will be for you. New column, new measure, new table, quick measure. From here, you select new column and you can create columns.
So calculated column, a new column is for calculated column, and new measure is for measure, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Madam, Karthik Gulapan here.
Yes, sir.
I got a report where all the columns appear in one single column. So I have to split the columns. But the challenge I'm facing is there is one character which is similar to enter key. So that I am how to split if there is a enter key within the record.
Sir, actually, that is very specific, sir. Is it all in one column, or like, is it all in one column, or 2-3 column, 2-3 row data is in one field?
Actually speaking, it is like some 8 column data is in one column. And after third column, third column, there is an enter key. So what happens when I use the regular Excel text to columns, only the 3 rows are getting, means all of them are separated by commas, comma separated value file. So what happens, only 3 columns are coming after I do text to columns. Balance 5 are not coming because there is a enter in after the third column.
Okay. Sir, can you try? Have you tried in Power BI already?
I tried in Power Query, but after this split columns, I didn't proceed because there is a enter I found, but will it automatically split that data?
Sir, actually, no, I have not done that before. So, but we can check. You are telling now, let's, these are some data points. Okay. நீங்க என்ன சொல்றீங்கன்னா இதுலயே வந்து
ஒரு என்டர் போட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த பி காலம்ல இருக்கிற டேட்டா வருது.
ஓகே, அது வந்து பி காலம் டேட்டா.
இல்ல இப்படியே கூட பண்ணலாம், ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை.
சரி, ஓகே. But what I'm telling is like this, you have multiple.
Yeah.
இல்ல ரெண்டாவது மாத்திக்கலாம் வேற ஏதாவது, அப்பதான் நம்மளுக்கு அந்த காலம் வருதான்னு தெரியும். Okay, this we will save somewhere. But we can just see, sir, it may not be straightforward all the time. Sometimes it's very straightforward, very simple. But depending on the system from where this data is generated, it may be complex. Like certain bank statements, it will read so easily without any intervention. Certain bank statements, it may take time where we have to spend some effort in evaluating, changing, like that. I'll just connect my laptop to charger also. ஆனா நீங்க காமா இருக்குன்னீங்கல்ல?
என்ன மேடம் கமா இருக்குன்னு?
நான் காமா போடல. காமா போட்டாதான் நம்மளுக்கு பிரிக்க முடியும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். காமா இருந்தா வரும் தான் நினைக்கிறேன். Because it's apparently reading the data. So you try, sir, we can connect even separately, but I think it's reading only. பாருங்க, நம்ம லோட் பண்ணுவோம், refresh. So it's reading, it will come directly. Split column, split by delimiter. Each occurrence, it is a comma. Comma. இப்படிதானே சொல்றீங்க?
Exactly. Okay.
ஆமா, இது ஓடுது, பட் all may not be so easy. It depending, அதான் நான் சொல்றேன்ல, இப்போ XML எல்லாம் வந்து some bank audit, branch bank audit பண்ணா நிறைய டேட்டா கொடுப்பாங்க text file எல்லாம். அதுல வந்து one column item will be read in 2 lines, 3 lines. Been for dot matrix printer, not yet updated in PSU banks. So and all used to be more complex. It's not impossible, but it may take more time. It's like we have to apply some more logic. 3-4 hours of efforts will be required to clean that data. So depending on the source of the data file, it may take time. But menu driven itself, lot of things are there. But other than menu driven, we can write formulas and also clean.
Okay.
So formulas also, when you use it, is much faster. But we should know the formulas.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
Yes. Yeah. Any other query? Yeah. Measures and calculated column. Any doubt? Everybody understand row context, filter context? Any doubts in row context, filter context?
Understood. The way workaround you did is you replaced the enter key with comma in the previous case.
No, I didn't replace enter key with the comma. I included a comma also apart from the enter key.
Okay.
Because that is only space. So only space means full Each word will go into one
Okay.
column.
Okay. Understood.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, so still enter key is there. If you see, data is in enter key only. So to include delimiter, I did that. Yeah. So now in the same purchase price variance, I'll show you how we can do much better with the measure. Okay, this is a very random thing which we have done across all the materials, right? So now what I'll do, I'll just right click, I write new measure. I'm going to write simple measures. Let's say maximum unit price equal to max of unit price. That's all. This is a formula. So when you write a formula, it's called as a explicit measure. And when you choose a formula from below, like previous time when we did, from the chart, we just put drop down and we chose, right? This is a implicit measure. Explicit measure means we are writing a separate formula. Okay. So we have written a formula now, maximum price. So we have to put some special character in front and right, or we can create a new blank table and put the measures there also. Okay, so maximum, minimum equal to minimum unit price. So if you see, all my syntax will be same like Excel only. Very few syntax like sum makes. There are some advanced DAX functions where we have to write different formulas. So now in an implicit measure, okay, when I put maximum price and minimum price, many of you would have thought, if I knew the difference, then it makes my work more easier. I will take only variance where there is what you say, more than 50% variance, more than 30% variance. I can fix materiality, right? But first time I was not able to do, because implicit measure I cannot use in another formula. The minimum which came from this cannot be referred in any other formula. But the measure we write can be referred in different formulas. Okay. So I will just go again, new measure, and I'm going to call it variance. So now I'll put minimum, maximum minus minimum. Maximum unit price minus minimum unit price. Okay, so now if you see, I can just populate another chart. I'm going to put same material number.
I think the formula is wrongly entered.
The
minimum unit price
minimum. Okay, this is our unit price. This is the unit price we calculated. U rate is the rate there in the data set, maximum unit price. Now, use purchase unit price.
measure formula
variance measure maximum minus maximum
okay. Maximum underscore minimum 1 okay. This is variance. So variance also we can do it as a percentage, that will be better. So divided by minimum. Number percentage. Okay. So this table now I'll create with maximum, minimum, and variance. So in the filter context, now I can remove all the things which are not having blanks, which are more than this. So all that I can do in the filter tab now. So I'll put variance is not blank. Apply filter. And variance is greater than 30%. Okay. So these are the things having greater than 30%. இப்போ infinity ஏன் வருதுன்னா இங்க 0 இருக்கும் எதுல minimum priceல or maximum priceல. One minute. Chart connect பண்ணுங்க. So maximum priceல போயிட்டு I can again put a filter is not so automatically the 0 in the data லாம் போயிரும். So இன்னமும் இருக்கு variance is not infinity வேணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். So now I have only where variance is more than 30%, and I have removed all unwanted, I mean to say variance data. Now when I visualize, it will be more relevant data. Okay. Or even the same report, this report itself also will be more useful. Now this I can take again, maybe I can introduce vendor wise, I can see each vendor, same unit, same vendor, same product, different price. So I can do further analysis and create exception report. Same vendor, same price. And I can remove material number is blank. So like that, I can keep building on my report. Okay. So instead of creating all in same, better we can create this vendor name in a separate chart also. So vendor name in separate chart, location in separate chart, like that, so that it will create an interactive dashboard instead of creating all the context into same thing. Then I can create, let's say, filter context like date wise. I want to see this quarter, that quarter, or this plant, that plant. Okay. So let's say I have different plant code here. So I want to filter plant. So what I'll do, there is something called as a slicer. I can change the chart to slicer. Okay. Since it's number, automatically it's going as slicer. If it was text, it would have shown as checkbox. So I'm going to give no, wait. So what we'll do, we'll just go to plant, change the data format and come. Instead of whole number, we'll make it into text. See, automatically format move to text. So now if we go and see, it came as a checkbox. Okay. Now date, let's say we'll take PO date. This is the PO date. So date, again, there are a lot of filter context. If you see here, by default, Power BI takes date hierarchy. Okay, year, month, quarter, day. So now this date hierarchy, I can give your down arrow and give date. Then it will show as plain date format. Okay, plain date format. But this date hierarchy, I can actually remove year, quarter, month. So I can have simple separate context. It can be another filter where I want to evaluate only particular month's data. So this will be like another filter context which I can create, month-wise filter. Okay. So for these, actually in the dashboard, instead of creating this, we have created buttons. Okay, insert. இங்க நம்மளுக்கு வந்து டெக்ஸ்ட் பாக்ஸ் பட்டன் இருக்கு. இதுக்கும் நம்ம பண்ணலாம். Okay. Or we can create a navigator. First one. So this is the button. You can create format, size. You can change the color around the corner like that. You can change the on. You can put even logos like that. You can put fill color. You can give. Okay. What action you want that button to do? You want it to go back a bookmark till through page navigation. Let's say I will bookmark this for Q1. Okay, if you want it to go to any other website, you can give. See, bookmark currently it's not there, so it's not showing. So I'll show you what bookmark is, and then we'll just come back to button so that we'll be able to do it better. Okay, so like this, I can create multiple charts, multiple filter parameters. Now let's say this chart, I will again make it into. Now variance I have in one column. No, that variance actually what I can do is I can remove from this variance. Okay, I'll just give Control Z. Not working. Okay, I removed it. Sorry. Either one I will put filter on this visual variance. So now what happened? Same items are there, but I'm not having that column. Okay, I have two columns, but this parameter is there. So since lot of data is there, I'm going to give whichever is more than 100%, 2 times the cost. Only that I want, I'm going to filter. And now I change it into chart. Like this, you can actually create multiple parameters, multiple things and put it. So now let's say you are seeing this vendor or this vendor. And most importantly for audit, what we need is the respective PO details also. For this vendor, which PO, what is the variance, right? So we'll just create one more table chart and we'll have PO number. Okay, I will give don't summarize. Okay, so now what will happen? Each vendor, as I do, I will get what is the variance. Now let's say Government of India, this product, this PO, material code also we'll add. Okay, material code not there. I want to add material code in this chart. Okay, so I want which material, which thing. This is one context. Or let's say I'm going to do plant wise for one plant. Okay, for one plant in this for January month. No data is there. February. Okay. April data. April I'm doing some dashboard analysis and I'm identifying some material variance. Okay. So this variance or this view I want to save. Then what I'll do is I will actually save it as a bookmark. I'll go to view tab and I will create bookmark and I will give add bookmark. So what happens? This view, whatever I have now, will become bookmark, which is for digital something. Okay. Now let's say I'm going to come to some other view. I want, I'm just coming out. Month filter I'm removing. Plant filter I'm removing. Okay. And I'm in this material analysis. Okay. This material from this PO number analysis, I'm there. Okay. Now I'm going to create this as another filter, bookmark 2. So now this is called views which we can create inside Power BI dashboard. So if I'm on the view, it will come like a PPT where what all outliers or what all items we had bookmarked, adu mattum line we can analyze. Okay. So now we can assign this bookmark to a button. I close this bookmark. We had some button here. In the button options filter. So bookmark came as a bar now. If you want, we can remove it also. Okay. Format button. Action. I can select. It should go to B2 bookmark. So instead of going to this bookmark bar, I'll just close this. Okay. And from the normal view, let's say I want to move to particular action. I can use this button. Okay. Control and click. It will move to that bar. It's like in Excel, we used to use macro buttons, something like that. Okay. So this is how, using some minimal formulas also, we can start doing analysis. Okay. So in Power Query, you can do more things like in terms of ETL, extracting data, reading PDFs, combining data. Okay. So I'll just show you 2-3 things which will be very useful for Power BI. Now see this, there's a PDF which we have created. It has 13 pages. Okay. It could be Excel, it could be it could be Excel converted, or it could be system generated, it could be bank statement. Okay. Now this 13 pages you want to consolidate. Okay, and make it into one Excel sheet. So I'll just show you how we can do it. I'll save and close this. I'll open a new file. I have a bank statement. First, I'll show that, and then I will show this. Then you will understand better. Okay, I'm going to get data. I'm going to read from PDF. First, the bank statement I forgot. Okay. Get data. This is a bank statement. Okay. So bank statement will have, this is a 4-page bank statement. So if you see, Excel has identified there is one table which contains page 1 to 4, and it is having 4 pages of data. So if you see the base file, I'll just show you the PDF. So base file is like this. It's a bank statement. Basically, there is table in each sheet, and after that, it is having some header information, my account details, etc. and all. So now I'm importing that data. So I have option table already, all tables together it has read. Okay, so it's the easiest way where I can transform data instead of uploading to some Google random website or buying a new product for conversion and all that. You can now use Power BI itself, where actually if you see all the, apart from opening balance and carry forward balance, if any, okay, in page wise, if there is, okay, apart from that, it has automatically read correctly only, check number, debit, credit, balance. So it's a very, very simple, strainless effort, like with very minimal effort we have loaded. But all this, all data will not be like this. Okay. So now I'll show you the purchase sheet which we saw. This is having different pages. It is having around 13-14 pages. We need to read. So how we'll work is apply new sources. I'll just go to new source, more, Power BI, PDF. Okay, I'll give PDF connect. So now if you see each page, it is a separate table. Okay. And here it is each page. Each page you can see the preview. So page wise it is red. Table wise also it is red. But everything is separate files. So generally when files are like this, what we need to do is we need to actually combine the table. Like you have to, I'll just load and show you. Okay. There is something called as append query. Append means to attach one below the other. Okay. To attach one below the other. So if you give append query, it will be like you have to import all 14 pages individually. Then you have to append query if you have to get this all table together. If you put in converter also, each table would have come in like 14 pages would have come in 14 Excel sheets if you have used an online converter. So this is such data set. I think all of us would have faced that criteria also. Now what I'll do, I'll go to the source navigation. Yeah, once I click source, I get this page. That is, this page 1 is taken from where we saw, no, even in that day's class, Excel is creating connection with the source place. So every time some data from the source link is getting updated, our file also will get updated. So that we have already seen. So if you see the source here, there automatically there are 5 components: page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, and there was a table which contained all 4 pages. Automatically we selected this. Okay, so it actually worked. Okay, by combining only that, and it combined and it gives us this data. So now we had selected here in the source table 1, but actually you need to select you want to do for all 14 pages. So instead of individually 13 pages, instead of individually taking all 13 pages, what we can do is we can filter and we can keep only the table data. Like here already you have page and table, right? You can keep only the table data. So now all 13 pages are coming sequentially. You have to just give this, so you can delete all this steps which you already came. Okay, you have filtered rows from the source. You have only all the tables. You give here expand. What all columns you want to expand? All the columns. So now what happens? All the 14 tables get combined in one click of the button itself. All 13 pages. So now there could be some small things which we need to do for like this, like repeat header is there. First header is not read. So what we'll do, we'll remove the first column. It's having page number. So I need to do remove rows, remove top row. Like Karthik sir had asked, no, first time, how to read unstructured data. Like this, when you have some complex data, you have to do multiple steps to arrive at a table format of data. Okay, first I removed the unwanted row. Now I have to promote headers. So previous data set was already in table format. So as soon as I loaded, it showed headers. Now this is not showing headers. So now it is showing headers. So now I gave just home, use first row as headers. Now what happened? There are in between blank columns as page and company. Okay, mostly it is repeating in the same header only, page company, page company. So this column seems easier to filter. Here means blank and amount. But here, since data is there, you will know surely in page row, nothing is there. In company row also, it's only header row. So what I'll do, I just put here filter, okay, all data other than page and company. So there are some things like amount Rajkumar. This also we need to check what it is, but still, oh, sorry. I selected all the Rajkumar. Rajkumar is some data pola. So we don't want page and company. So now if you see the in between subheadings have gone. Okay. So in this also column also there is some date headers are there. So we'll check actually what we can do. We can filter and check what all are there in the blank rows. Then decide whether you need the rows or not. So all this row seems to be total rows or unwanted rows. So you can remove the blanks safely. Same thing you can do for blanks. Check. And then you can remove. Oh, this seems to be required. So this you cannot remove. So you can remove the blanks, null. So select all, remove null. Other was name. And the mari vande nama onnona we have to evaluate whether it is relevant, non-relevant, and then you filter and you create your table data. From here, actually, it will be a easier analysis process. Okay. So like this ETL in Power BI can be very, very useful. Okay. Asif, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, in that virtual CFO dashboard, I'll just ask my teammate to show you how we can run that virtual CFO dashboard with different data set. Like, for example, the same TDL you run for different clients, there will be some changes that will be required. Like, for example, every client will not have the same grouping in ledgers. So that grouping cannot be 100% standardized, but little bit changed to add the new ledgers what the respective client is having. Okay, so that one alone at the time of changing the path we need to do. So that alone, can you share screen and see?
Thanks.
I'll ask my teammate who has immensely contributed in developing that dashboard, Asif Router. So he will now quickly show you how, yeah, screen is visible. So now he'll quickly show you how to change the path for the TDL.
Yes, this is the Power BI file. The source data is in, first we got to transform data. So this is a source file, this is a voucher, and this is ledger. So various column assess name, primary group, parent, opening balance, closing balance, like that. So the thing is, you have to make some conditions for grouping, because in Tally, we have separate categories like current assets, fixed assets, loans, liabilities. If current assets, there's some different categories such as deposits, sundry debtors, cash in hand. So in Power BI, we getting data from the Tally backup. In primary group, we get as like cash in hand, current assets, like different categories. We have to group it as per the Tally. So we have to write condition for that. So this is a condition column. First, we have to select the primary group, which is a column you have to select. Then operator, then value. So if my value is capital account, the output will be capital account. For example, now there is deposits. The deposits has to be coming into current assets. So we put the value of deposits and it has to be grouped again current assets. Like that, cash in hand has to be current assets. Stock in has to be in current assets. So we are grouping as per the Tally. The data has to be categorized. So the categorized value has to be put in new column like this. Like the categorized value put as like current assets, current liabilities, such that we can group the Tally data into Power BI.
So when you change path, what we need to do is for this ledger table, we need to go to this conditional column. Just ensure all the groups that client is maintaining are mapped to one of the ledger.
Yes.
So that is the one additional work we have to do instead of just changing path. So can you show how to change path once more? Transform data.
Yeah. Now close and apply. So this is my Power BI file. I want to go to transform data and click transform data.
The data source settings. Okay.
Yes. So this is my voucher. So now I want to change my data source. I have to click data source settings and give change source and click browse. So I want to select where is my backup file from the tally. I have to click that file and click open and click OK. So like this, we have to change the source for the new tally backup files. Is it clear?
Okay. Yes. So whatever we discussed so far, any doubts, any other thing you want us to show or explain?
Madam, in one distinction I found between Power Query and Power BI, it is not a doubt on what you taught. All the queries in the left side will be coming in the result in case of Power Query. But here I think we can right click and disable a few queries if we don't want in the table. Isn't it so?
No. You don't want the table itself, sir, or any particular step?
I mean, see in the left side, we can see 5 queries, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, you can disable, correct.
But that is not possible in Power Query. Is it possible?
Sir, actually, I have not extensively used
It's okay.
Excel.
It's okay.
So I'm not giving conclusive answer.
So what Ratnagiri sir told the workaround is we should give all of them connections, and those connections we want as table, we can right click each connection and row to table. That is a workaround. If we don't want all the result in the left side. It's okay, madam. It's okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I thought I already shared the dashboard in OneDrive. I'll just check once more. Yeah, dashboard I'm sharing, sir. I think in group or somewhere I shared already. Anyways, I'll share again in our FTP group. Yeah.
Madam, one doubt. Hello.
Yeah, I'm there. Tell me, sir, what's your doubt?
Yeah, the video on the FTP, this physical session which we have made, I think your session is it is not complete, the video, I think. Is it right?
Yes, sir. I also identified that and told they will check and come back.
Okay. Thank you.
So I told it is complete, but they told I found only half an hour video was there. I think Ramakrishnan is working on it. I'll just check, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, suddenly background noise here in my area. Yes. Any other question?
One small doubt. The calculator columns are having the sigma icon and measures are having the calculator icon, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
So each thing deals with a particular step. Like for
Right,
example, calendar
right.
means it will show that calendar thing. Sigma
Okay.
means it's a number. Calculated column means calculator. Measure
Yes.
means a thinner calculator.
Yes. Okay. We can identify.
Yes.
Okay.
The sum of invoice amount எப்படி minus வருது?
சொல்லுங்க, sum of invoice minus na credit notes இருக்கும் sir. நம்ம data setல generally ERP data setல the client may have credit notes and credit.
Sorry, madam. I am just talking to somebody else. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Ma'am, actually, I need to practice little more. I have to take a class on this actually for next week or after 10 days. While practicing, I get any doubts, I can come back to you and ask.
Yeah. Our numbers are in group. Anytime you can come back. Preferably you WhatsApp, sir. I will revert within the same day.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All of you, whatever queries you have, I will share a few more PPTs also. You can take and jumble as per your convenience, which all you are comfortable to take, which all you feel it's more useful. And then you can get back to me for any clarifications also. And for the class, you need not be very detailed. Few reports, this dashboard, I think that should be sufficient.